Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj, coming up in the next 30 minutes. Prime Minister Modi hails the success of Operation Sindoor in Mann Ki Baat radio program. Says bravery displayed by armed forces made every Indian proud. India's global outreach against terror continues. Multi-party delegations spread message of zero tolerance towards terrorism in all its forms. Russia-Ukraine trade drone fire at capitals. Attacks come as Kyiv and Moscow carry out the biggest prisoner swap since February 2022. In Cannes, Iranian director Jafar Panahi wins Palme d'Or for It Was Just an Accident. Brazil's Wagner Moura wins Best Actor. Best Actress award goes to France's Nadia Meliti. In badminton, India's Kidambi Srikanth to face China's Li Shifeng in Malaysia Masters final. In the 122nd episode of monthly radio program Mann Ki Baat, Prime Minister Narendra Modi hailed the successful execution of Operation Sindoor and said the valor displayed by our forces during Operation Sindoor has made every Indian proud.
साथियों, ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के दौरान हमारी सेनाओं ने जो पराक्रम दिखाया है, उसने हर हिंदुस्तानी का सिर ऊंचा कर दिया है। जिस प्रिसीजन के साथ, जिस सटीकता के साथ हमारी सेनाओं ने सीमा पार के आतंकवादी ठिकानों को ध्वस्त किया, वो अद्भुत है। ऑपरेशन सिंदूर ने दुनिया भर में आतंक के खिलाफ लड़ाई को नया विश्वास और उत्साह दिया है।
As India is nearing to achieve its goal to eliminate left-wing extremism till March 2026 from the country, Prime Minister said that the situation in Naxal violence-affected areas is fast becoming normal and the children in these areas are excelling in both education and sports.
यहाँ के बच्चों में साइंस का पैशन है, वो स्पोर्ट्स में भी कमाल कर रहे हैं। ऐसे प्रयासों से पता चलता है कि इन इलाकों में रहने वाले लोग कितने साहसी होते हैं। इन लोगों ने तमाम चुनौतियों के बीच अपने जीवन को बेहतर बनाने की राह चुनी है।
Prime Minister Modi further noted the Tiranga Yatras that were held across India with viral videos emerging from Chandigarh showing children making paintings and newborn babies being named after Sindoor.
देखा होगा, देश के कई शहरों में, गांवों में, छोटे-छोटे कस्बों में तिरंगा यात्राएं निकाली गई। हजारों लोग हाथों में तिरंगा लेकर देश की सेना, उसके प्रति वंदन अभिनंदन करने निकल पड़े। कितने ही शहरों में सिविल डिफेंस वॉलंटियर बनने के लिए बड़ी संख्या में युवा एकजुट हो गए। ऑपरेशन सिंदूर ने देश के लोगों को इतना प्रभावित किया है कि कई परिवारों ने इसे अपने जीवन का हिस्सा बना लिया है। बिहार के कटिहार में, यूपी के कुशीनगर में और भी कई शहरों में उस दौरान जन्म लेने वाले बच्चों का नाम सिंदूर रखा गया है।
India's global outreach against terror continues as Congress MP Shashi Tharoor-led all-party delegation gave the message to the world that the Indian delegation has come forth to communicate that we will not be sitting quietly against the forces of evil which attacked India. Shashi Tharoor delivered the remarks while speaking to the media outside the 9/11 memorial. He gave a call to the global community for standing together with mutual solidarity and strength against the menace of terrorism. Tharoor said that the visit to the 9/11 memorial is a solemn reminder of how, just like the US, India has been subjected to terrorism. Speaking about how India has been subjected to terror acts time and again, Tharoor underlined that India is not going to stop our hunt for those who did this latest atrocity. He also expressed confidence in the Indian diaspora to influence and shape the public opinion.
We are determined now that there's got to be a new bottom line to this. We have tried everything, international dossiers, complaints to sanctions committee, diplomacy, even this joint investigation attempt, everything has been tried. Pakistan has remained in denial. There has been absolutely no conviction, no serious criminal prosecution, no attempt to dismantle the terror infrastructure in that country and the persistence of safe havens. So from our point of view, this is it. You do this, you're going to get this back. And we have demonstrated with this operation that we can do it with a degree of precision and with a degree of restraint that the world, we hope, will understand. We have a right to self-defense. We've exercised that right. We have not done so irresponsibly, and we have not done so in a way that would have warranted a wider conflagration.
The all-party delegation led by Nationalist Congress Party MP Supriya Sule arrived in Doha, Qatar on Saturday. The all-party delegation aims to project India's national consensus and firm stance on combating terrorism in all its forms. During their outreach, they will carry India's strong message of zero tolerance against terrorism to the global community. The delegation will visit Qatar, Egypt, Ethiopia and South Africa to convey India's unwavering resolve to combat terrorism demonstrated during Operation Sindoor. Another multi-party delegation led by JDU MP Sanjay Jha arrived in Seoul, South Korea after completing its visit to Japan. During his visit to Japan, the delegation talked of a dastardly April 22nd Pahalgam attack. And subsequent Operation Sindoor. It also emphasized India's zero tolerance to terrorism and conveyed the message that terror and talks cannot go together, blood and water cannot flow together. In the second phase of the outreach program, another all-party delegation led by Shiv Sena MP Shrikant Shinde reached Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of Congo. The delegation on Saturday concluded its visit to the UAE as a part of the global outreach under Operation Sindoor. The delegation is one of the 7 multi-party delegations India has tasked to visit 33 global capitals to reach out to the international community on Pakistan's designs and India's response to terror. Members from the all-party delegation led by DMK MP Kanimori concluded their Russian leg of the visit as part of India's global outreach program on Operation Sindoor on Saturday. The delegation is now heading to Ljubljana, capital of Slovenia. Other countries which the delegation will cover include Greece, Latvia and Spain to highlight Operation Sindoor and reaffirm India's unwavering stand against terrorism. Meanwhile, an all-party delegation led by BJP MP Baijant Panda explained India's measured and calibrated response towards Pakistan's actions and brought to attention how terror emanating from Pakistan has been a threat not only to India but to world peace at large.
Many nations and leaders have taken a stand that they intervened and they spoke. But to make it clear, our stand is very clear that this is a bilateral issue and we will only deal with Pakistan. So, of course, people, leaders call and intervene even when there are disputes in other parts of the world. We also give advice to other nations. But while there was advice and suggestions from many nations, the reality is we said it has to be Pakistan only. And only when Pakistan's Director General of Military Operations called India and said that we want a ceasefire, we want a stop, we said the following. We said, we don't want hostilities. You stop shooting, we will stop shooting. You resume shooting, we will resume shooting. That is the simple message.
Former envoy Harsh Vardhan Shringla told the gathering about India's response to the horrific attack in Pahalgam. Speaking during the interaction about the IMF and Pakistan, MP Nishikant Dubey said that from last 2-3 days, IMF is insisting Pakistan not to divert this money anywhere else. His remarks came amid the background of the 11 additional conditions imposed by the International Monetary Fund on Pakistan. The delegation aims to Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Bahrain and Algeria brief international partners on India's response to the April 22nd Pahalgam terror attack. AIMIM MP Asauddin Owaisi said that terrorist groups wrongly use religion to justify killing innocent people. He noted, in fact, that India has repeatedly exercised maximum restraint despite grave provocations.
Unfortunately, you know the first and last one, and because of that concern, our government has sent us over here and various delegations comprising of all party members of parliament to different parts of the world, so that the world knows the threat which India has been facing from last so many years. And unfortunately, we have lost huge amount of human lives. Innocent people have been killed. And the fact of the matter is that this problem emanates from Pakistan only. Unless and until Pakistan stops promoting, aiding, sponsoring all these terrorist groups, this issue will not go away. And India has exercised utmost restraint in dealing with this problem.
To send a strong message against terrorism, another all-party Indian delegation is visiting France, led by BJP MP Ravi Shankar Prasad. The team will meet senior French ministers to strengthen ties between the two countries and work together on fighting terrorism. This visit shows that all Indian political parties are united on this issue and that India stands with France in the global fight against terrorism. DD India's Rohini Gusavi has more.
India's all-party delegation for France is arriving to Paris today, and it will be here for next 2 days. BJP MP Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad is leading this delegation along with other party MPs and ex-diplomat. As we know, Pakistan is blaming India for attacking their citizens and portraying itself as a victim of terrorism on international level. That's why this delegation has its own importance. This delegation is carrying two strong messages. First one is we will not tolerate terrorism anymore. And second one, we may have differences in political level, but when it comes to nation, when it comes to country, we unite and fight together. After Operation Sindoor and Pakistan's nuclear threats, India government has sent these delegations to more than 20 countries to spread a message and show India's stand against cross-border terrorism. In countries like France, which has itself been a victim of terrorism, the Indian delegation is finding strong resonance. This all-party diplomatic outreach is not just about bilateral ties, but it's a statement of India's proactive global engagement, seeking not a sympathy but solidarity, not a charity but cooperation. During these 2 days, this delegation will meet French ministers, French politicians, Senate members, as well as Indian diaspora, think tank members, and Indo-French friendship groups. To spread its message loud and clear, this delegation will meet French media as well. In this visit, this delegation will show and prove that how Pakistan is lying and how India has been victim of Pakistani terrorism since long time. They will be seeking supportive hands to fight against terrorism together. This is Rohini Gosavi in Paris for DD India.
After it first titled about 38 nautical miles of the Kochi coast, a Liberian flagged container vessel further submerged on Sunday morning, losing more containers into the sea. 3 crew members who were still on board were rescued by the Indian Navy ship Sujata under hazardous conditions, which have also raised concerns of environmental damage. In a joint mission by the Indian Navy and Coast Guard, 21 of the 24 crew were earlier rescued on Saturday. Of the crew, the master was from Russia, 20 others from the Philippines, 2 from Ukraine and 1 from Georgia. The 184-meter long vessel departed for Kochi from Vizhinjam port on Friday. As the mission continued to explore methods to assist in towing the vessel, another ship from the parent company reached the area on Sunday as part of the assistance efforts. A professional assessment is currently underway to determine whether the ship can be towed. Soon after the incident was reported, Kerala State Disaster Management Authority issued an alert across the state coast about the containers with very low sulfur fuel likely to get washed ashore. And still to come on this edition of DD India Live. Bangladesh Nationalist Party calls for swift completion of reforms after meeting with Bangladesh Chief Advisor Muhammad Yunus. And it's a glorious 100th for Novak Djokovic. The tennis stalwart defeats Hubert Hurkacz on clay at the Geneva Open final. World Football Day is being observed across the globe, the 101st anniversary of the first international football tournament in history.
We often think of something flashy or futuristic, but the real game changers, they're quieter, rooted in research, shaped by problem solvers, and already a part of our lives.
Young tribal people, I would call them as they are the heartbeats of our jungles, who know every single point in the jungle where the elephants are, where they will go, what season they will migrate.
This happened because of a self-help group. But since I've received the drone, the negative attitude of people has turned much more positive.
The beautiful thing about the lithium is the lithium that you recover stays the lithium, and you can reuse it over and over again.
You're watching DD India Live. I am Siddharth Bharadwaj. After day-long drama, Bangladesh Nationalist Party has called for swift completion of reforms initiated by the interim government as well as holding the national election by December this year. The party leaders held a meeting with Bangladesh Chief Advisor Muhammad Yunus at the State Guest House, Jamuna in Dhaka. After the meeting, the party's standing committee member, Khandekar Musharraf Hussain, briefed reporters and called for completing the reforms quickly and holding the national election by December. BNP also demanded the announcement of roadmap for the election. BNP standing committee members also demanded the removal of National Security Advisor and 2 student advisors. Amid an unfolding political crisis, the BNP held its meeting primarily focusing on elections. The chief advisor also met Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami and National Citizen Party separately. In a latest update on Russia-Ukraine conflict, Kyiv came under attack from more than a dozen Russian drones early on Sunday, authorities said, as they warned of incoming missile threat. Officials said the attack injured at least 7 people as fragments set an apartment building on fire and damaged homes. Taking to social media post, the head of Kyiv city's military administration, Timur Kachenko, said more than a dozen enemy drones were in airspace. Some of the drones over Kyiv and the surrounding area have already been dealt with, but the new ones are still entering the capital. Kyiv mayor said the city was under attack, but air defenses are operating, urging the citizens to take shelter. The successive overnight attacks come even as Russia and Ukraine pursue the biggest prisoner swap. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky called for new international sanctions against Russia after overnight attacks in the capital Kyiv.
На все це потрібна реакція. Жорстка. Реакція Сполучених Штатів Америки, реакція Європи, реакція всіх світів, хто хоче завершення війни. Путін відмовився від припинення вогню вже неодноразово. Це нічого йому не дає, крім того, що кожного дня він забирає життя. Кожен день дає приводи для нових санкцій проти Росії. Кожен день доводить, що без тиску на Росію війна триватиме.
Meanwhile, Russia's defense ministry said early on Sunday that its air defense units had intercepted and destroyed 95 Ukrainian drones over Russia, mostly central and southern regions, but also around Moscow. Taking to social media post, Moscow Mayor Sergei Sobyanin said that the number of drones destroyed or intercepted near the capital had risen to 11. The activity prompted the closure of Moscow's 3 airports for a time. On Saturday, both countries exchanged 307 prisoners each as part of a 1,000-person deal in biggest swap of the conflict so far. Saturday's swap was announced by Russia's defense ministry and separately by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in a post on social media platform Telegram. Zelensky said that in just these 2 days, 697 people have been brought home. Expect the process to continue on Sunday. He also said that among those who returned today are warriors from our armed forces, the State Border Guard Service, the National Guard of Ukraine. The 78th edition of France's prestigious Cannes Film Festival has wrapped up, bringing together stars and legends of world cinema to celebrate the best in independent and international films. From major awards to special honors and unforgettable screenings, this year's festival lived up to its reputation. Diptantu Kashyap brings us the details in this report.
Iranian filmmaker Zafar Panahi won the Palme d'Or at the 78th Cannes Film Festival for It Was Just an Accident, a bold political thriller. Iraq's The President Cake won the Camera d'Or for Best Debut. Brazil's Wagner Moura was named Best Actor, while French newcomer Nadia Meliti took Best Actress for The Little Sister. Norway's Joachim Trier earned the Grand Prix for Sentimental Value. The winners were selected by a jury led by Juliette Binoche, with the members including Halle Berry, Pyle Kapadia and Carlos Regadas. The main competition featured 21 films, including Wes Anderson's The Phoenician Scheme and the Julia Ducournau's Alpha. In the Uncertain Regards section, Chilean director Diego Cespedes won the top prize for The Mysterious Gaze of the Flamingo, while Indians Homebound by Neeraj Gewan was also showcased. Chechenya's first Cannes entry, Imago, won the Best Documentary, and The $6 Billion Man about Julian Assange picked up a special jury prize. A sheepdog from Iceland, The Love That Remains, won the Palme d'Or for the Best Canine Performance. Restored classics like Aranya Din Ratri, The Gold Rush, and Barry Lyndon were featured in Cannes Classic. Robert De Niro and Denzel Washington received honorary Palme d'Ors, with De Niro honored an opening night. Final Reckoning, the latest Mission Impossible film, was screened out of competition. Despite a citywide power outage and a political conversation about Ukraine, Gaza, and Donald Trump, the festival closed with its signature glamour as stars of the silver screen walked the iconic red carpet. Diptantu Kashyap for DD India.
Sports news now. In badminton, India's Kidambi Srikanth is taking on China's Li Shifeng in the final of the Malaysia Masters. While most Indian shuttlers bowed out early at the Malaysia Masters 2025, Srikanth kept India's hopes up and delivered a much-needed spark. The 32-year-old earlier stunned Japan's Yushi Tanaka in the semi-finals. Sunday's clash marks a significant milestone for Srikanth, who returns to a tournament final after a long gap. The last time he featured in a championship match was at the 2021 BWF World Championships, where he claimed silver following a loss to Loh Kwan Yeoh of Singapore. Novak Djokovic clinched his 100th career title as he defeated Hubert Hurkacz 5-7, 7-6, 7-6 in 3 hours and 5 minutes on clay at the Geneva Open final on Saturday. Djokovic had not won a tournament since his maiden Olympic gold medal in Paris last year, while his last tour-level title had come at the ATP finals in 2023. It looked like Djokovic's wait for the 100th title would continue as he was down 2-4 in the final set before he made a comeback to beat the big serving Pole in the final. The Serbian maintained a perfect record against the 28-year-old Hurkacz with his 8th win in as many meetings. Union Sports Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia led the special edition of Fit India Sundays on cycling in the national capital with all the journalists to promote Fit India. Top journalists were present at the Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium early on Sunday morning to promote the nationwide movement for fitness and health. A key program of the Fit India movement, the cycling event is aimed at promoting a healthier and greener India with awareness towards improving the air quality index in the national capital. The world of soccer is celebrating World Football Day today. In 2024, the world marked the 100th anniversary of the first international football tournament involving teams from all regions, held on May 25, 1924 during the Summer Olympic Games in Paris.
May 25th marks World Football Day, a global celebration of the sport that brings people together like no other. Football, or soccer, as it's known in some parts of the world, is more than just a game. It's a way of life. From the dusty streets of Brazil to the sun-kissed pitches of Spain, football has a universal appeal that transcends border, cultures, and languages. Football has the power to inspire, to unite, and to change lives. It's a sport that evokes passion, excitement, and joy, bringing people together in a shared experience. Whether you are a die-hard fan or a casual observer, football has a way of captivating our imagination and stirring our emotions. From the FIFA World Cup to local community leagues, football is a global phenomenon that touches the lives of millions. It's a sport that's played, watched, and loved by people of all ages, backgrounds, and cultures. Football has the ability to bridge cultural divides, foster community spirit, and promote social change. On World Football Day, people around the world celebrate the beautiful game in all its forms. They honor the players, coaches, and officials who work tirelessly to promote the sport. They recognize the impact football has on communities, lives, and the world. As the world celebrates World Football Day, football fans and enthusiasts alike are reminded of the values that football embodies: teamwork, fair play, and respect. They continue to promote the sport in a positive and inclusive way, ensuring that it remains a force for good in the world. Sports Desk, DD India.
That's all for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms, and you can scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.